Hey guys, welcome back to our MistTrack investigative series, where we track down stolen funds in the Web3 space. Earlier this week, the Web3 gambling platform Stake was hacked for $40 million. Funds were stolen across the Ethereum, Polygon, and Binance Smart Chain networks. It was then spread across various addresses on each network. Let's start our investigation on the Ethereum network. To get started, we can click on the dashboard button here. And then since we're searching the Ethereum network, click right here. Select the token we're searching, and then we can just paste the address here. Click search. Okay, so right now we have this label as the staked exploiter. So we're going to scroll down and start our investigation. So I see a lot of incoming transactions that I don't want to deal with. So I'm going to scroll to the right and then just click on only outgoing. And then what I'm going to do is expand on each address here. The reason I'm clicking on each of these addresses is because we want to see where the funds are sent next. And if the funds are still there, that means we can't expand on the address. I'm going to click on here to see if I can expand any addresses here. So same thing, none of the funds on the Ethereum network has been transferred out. But if you like, you can actually click on this and then open up this wallet here. And the reason why this address received the 1 ETH from the original hacker's address first was because the funds were actually deposited in DAI, as you see right here. And then because they didn't have any Ethereum to pay for the gas fees, they sent the 1 ETH, and that's when they used Uniswap to swap it back into Ethereum. So that's where you see this transaction here. And then they moved the funds to this address here. So you actually see the same pattern across the board with a lot of these addresses here. They received funds in kind of like DAI or like stake ETH, but then there was nothing they could do because they didn't have any ETH in that address. That's why they sent the 1 ETH in first. And then if I click on all these addresses as well, you're going to see that they follow the same pattern where they received some kind of funds that's not ETH first, and then they were converted via Uniswap and then sent over to the next address. So if you go to the BNB network, so this is actually a similar case, and the same thing with the Polygon network. So on the BNB network, none of the funds has been moved yet, but if you go to the Polygon network, the funds were actually moved. As you see right here, we can expand it. They already sent it to multiple addresses. We're just going to keep expanding and then to see where the funds are sent next. Now right here, we can see that it actually got sent to Squid Router. So we're going to click on this address here. I'm going to paste it up here. Click search. And we actually see the multi-chain option pop up here. Now, what this means is that most likely what they did is they bridged it to another network. And because our platform allows you to search across multiple networks of the same address, it shows up here. So we're going to click here and we're going to go to Avalanche. You can see they show different tokens here, USDC, USDT, and BTC. Usually what happens is that they will receive the funds like USDC once it's bridged to the other network. And then they will kind of like either convert it to most likely BTC or AVAX. And here it went through Paraswap. And we can go back up. I think they swapped it into BTC this time. So they received 6.4 BTC. And if you see the no address here, what this means is that they actually bridged it over to the Bitcoin network. This is actually something that's very similar to what Lazarus does. And it's been confirmed by the FBI as well. If you don't know who the Lazarus are, they're a group of cyber criminals from North Korea. They were actually responsible for one of the largest hacks in Web3 history, the Ronin hack. And then their MO has been recently pretty much just converting all their funds, bridging it to the AVAX network. And then from there, they would bridge it to the Bitcoin network because of the high liquidity AVAX currently has on their bridging. Now, you may be wondering, hey, is there any way to check where the funds are sent on the Bitcoin network? So unfortunately, you can't track it right now on MistTrack, and you also can't track it on the AVAX Explorer. But that's just because there's just not enough information here. But what we did do is we actually created a AVAX bridge analysis on Dune Analytics, and we'll actually be going over this next week on how you can track transactions that were bridged to the Bitcoin network on AVAX. All right. and I will see you next week.